It has been almost a year since I took the Safer Community Pledge. Certainly a lot of the organizations involved in YouTube seem to have gotten better. But how have I done? Let's talk about it. Hello Paul Talkers and other viewers. I am Paul Roth. This is Where Paul Talks. And today I want to look back at how I've been doing with regards to the Safer Community Pledge. In the last quarter of last year, I had witnessed a year of disclosures of bad behavior by YouTubers and Viners. I had seen some organizations start to respond, other organizations not respond enough, some individuals talk about what was going on, some individuals completely shy away from talking about what was going on. And then a group that at the time was called U Coalition, and who have since changed their name to Uplift, created a web presence, got a couple of people involved, and put forth something called the Safer Community Pledge. I took that pledge in a video on this channel in October of last year, and there'll be a link to it in the cards right over there. I made a video version after I had seen It's Just Margaret and Lauren Fairweather put up video versions of theirs. I was so angry at the time about what was going on that I just leapt at this chance to participate in something that I thought could make the community better. But pledging to do good doesn't mean much if you forget about it, or if you just don't do those things that you pledged to do. I'm going to take it again now in this video, but unlike my first time, this time I'm going to stop after every bullet point. Let's get started. I pledge that I will always prioritize consent. I understand that consent is the presence of an enthusiastic yes rather than the absence of a no, and that consent cannot be given when someone is asleep or physically or mentally incapacitated. I am definitely about enthusiastic consent. I have definitely listened for that in all my interactions. Certainly since the pledge, I have worked especially hard to make sure I hear that enthusiastic yes before moving forward in whatever interactions that are happening. Something that I didn't think about when I took the pledge last year is that because of my position, I am a 40-year-old man, I have like almost 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, I have a full-time job, I have some money. Because of all these different things about my position in life, just my interacting with someone who is at a lesser power dynamic relative to me might make them feel uncomfortable about not giving an enthusiastic yes. So not only do I listen for an enthusiastic yes, I also have to try to pay attention to make sure that the environment that I've put myself into is one in which people can give one or choose not to give one. I pledge that I will respect my partner's wishes and that I will not pressure or coerce them into doing anything that makes them uncomfortable. This is not a passive point. You have to actively be paying attention to make sure you are not making someone else uncomfortable. You can't just wait for them to say so. You have to read their body language, you have to see their actions and listen to their words, and also the things that they aren't saying to really be able to pay attention and do this point justice. I pledge to stand with survivors of sexual abuse or harassment by showing them compassion and respect. I have tried really hard to be good about that. There are tendencies when you're trying to make an argument for something that you think is a good thing, like not victim blaming, when you may dismiss people's individual experiences in order to try to make your point. That might make your point on a universal scale, but it hurts the individual. I am bad at that. I have a history of being bad at overlooking individuals' experiences in order to make what I think is like a greater good point. I'm working not to do that, but in general, I work very hard to be on the side of victims and to show them as much respect as I can. I pledge to never blame the victim for any abuse they've experienced. Sexual violence is never the victim's fault. And while I've never taken that lightly, I've been trying to pay more attention to that. I pledge to admit when I make mistakes and to apologize for my actions. When someone tells me that I've done something sexist, victim blaming, or otherwise offensive, I pledge to be open to their words. I mess up all the time, so much, and my intent in not wanting to harm people doesn't matter if the impact of my words or actions do in fact cause harm. I try very hard to apologize as wholly and sincerely as I can and to try to work to make up for my wrongdoings. But if I'm not doing enough, I am glad when people tell me, so I can learn and be better. I pledge to support conversations surrounding sexual abuse and harassment in a way that is respectful of my needs and the needs of those I am speaking with. In my life, something like 4 out of 5 of the women that I know who are in their teens or older have been sexually assaulted in some way. And when they want to talk about it, I support them. I try to listen. I try to tell them that I am on their side. And the last point is, I pledge to create safer communities, both online and off. Online, I do what I can. I try to boost the voices of those who may not get heard. I try to support certain Twitter hashtags, certain Tumblr memes that reveal these important concepts and try to make these online communities safer spaces. Offline, I volunteered to help out the Uplift booth at VidCon this year. And a couple times at my workplace, I have tried to speak up when I hear things that are sexist and or homophobic and or racist. So that is my redone version of my Safer Community Pledge. If you have not yet taken the Safer Community Pledge, I encourage you to go to the Tumblr link that's in the doobly-doo below, see the entire write-up, and if you want to make the pledge yourself, please do. If you do take the Safer Community Pledge yourself, please send me a link to it so that I can share that with everybody else, and we don't let the conversation die. Also, if you've been aware of me and my activities over the past year, speak up in the comments. Say if I have sucked in some way. Say if I have not lived up to the Safer Community Pledge in some way. I know that I've made mistakes, but maybe I don't know about all the mistakes that I've made. I can't help make the community safer if I myself am making things less safe. I don't want to be that guy. If you like this video, if you like the pledge, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share it where anybody who might not know about the Safer Community Pledge can see it. Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, whatever you like. Concern about social issues and safety are a couple of the important points that I keep on coming back to on this channel. So if you have not yet subscribed, and this is your jam, please do subscribe. Thank you for making it to the end of my video. The ending is where I always say, tomorrow will be even better.